All right, guys. Welcome to Get Bit Podcast, the podcast for blurs, and nerds, and everybody to enjoy. I'm your host, most Will Buchanan, and as you can see, I am definitely joined tonight by a few of my people. I've always said first, I will first introduce Joe. I can't call you the high-pitched intern, man. I can't. I tried.
Right, I'm the high-pitched co-host.
High-pitched co-host. I was like, but you're not high pitched though. It's like it doesn't really match.
All right, that normally pitched co-host Joe Tanella.
And of course, I got my buddy Big VZA Dot. How you doing, Vaughn?
What's up, people? I just finished watching Mortal Kombat.
All right, so before we do get started, this is a family-friendly podcast, so we do try to watch our language, but hey, if we were showing videos, I would usually sit there and say these are videos off of YouTube, so they're pretty much going to be uncensored, and if your child does not want to learn certain words or certain phrases from certain video games, this podcast may not be for you. But then again, you know, you might be that type of liberal parent. That being said, we'll get into it. I did want to go ahead and did talk about the elephant in the room. I would be remiss to sit there and say, guys, I know Mortal Kombat just released. With that being said, we are going to call this a spoiler-free review of Mortal Kombat. Now, what I mean by that is we are not going to give any details. We are not going to say anything about the movie outside of what we thought was great. Beyond that, I would highly encourage you, if you have the ability to watch it on HBO Max, or if you decide that you want to go into a movie theater and watch the movie, then feel free to do so. But I want to start with Vaughn because he's the freshest of us all. Because as he just sat there and said, he just got through watching Mortal Kombat. So Vaughn, in the most spoiler-free review that you can give, what'd you think?
The fighting is splendiferous. I'll stop there.
that first 7 minutes got you, huh?
Honestly, every fight.
Okay.
I wish I could give like a detail, but I'm just saying the pros, the fighting.
Okay. So Joe, what about you?
Can I give a con?
What's the con you got, Vaughn? You can't find any cons. You can't find any cons, bro, to bring up.
The acting.
Oh, come on now. Not the what? The acting is always gonna be in can we honestly wait.
Bro, stop. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Before I get too passionate, I'll get too passionate. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to take support. It's not you. It's the movie. I'm sorry.
I'm just saying. Just playing devil's advocate. Has the acting ever been like Denzel, Oscar Academy in video game movie adaptations?
I'm not accepting that.
Yes, Christopher Lambert as Raiden is peak Oscar.
As long as
you'll be alone that mojo. You'll be alone that
we continue to get what we get. If Marvel can get top tier caliber actors in their movies, you got to give something like Marvel, like Mortal Kombat or Street Fighter. Like seriously, it can really work if you give it a chance. It's like Marvel. You can have like the CW actors in their movies and it won't work. But no, they got quality actors. Robert Downey Jr., people like that, Chris Evans. I'm not like, you would think it would be far-fetched to have them in those movies. So I'm not saying it's not far-fetched to have somebody of that tier in those kind of movies, man.
Agreed.
We deserve better.
Agreed, but
I'm going too far.
No, you're good because you're still. I mean, you're not giving away anything, which is the big thing. I didn't want to give anything away outside of everybody just giving their review of everything. So I mean, if the whole thing for you is like you love the fighting, but the acting could have been better, that's fair. It's fair. Would you say? I would ask you this before I move on to Joe. Would you say that after you got through watching it, do you believe that it deserves a sequel?
I want to see what's happening next.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So, We do have a very good A-list actor in Hiroyuki Sanada, who was Scorpion.
Mm-hmm.
He gives a very, very good performance, as he always does. I would say about half the fights are good. A lot of them lacked impact. And this is coming from someone who's watched a lot of martial arts movies of different styles across my life.
So the barn fight didn't do it for you?
I've gotten to that point where I can tell a good movie from a bad movie without, like, it's that. I will say, of the 5 Mortal Kombat movies I have seen, this is probably the 3rd best Mortal Kombat movie I've seen.
I gotta stop right there. Just because you said the 3rd, which 2 Mortal Kombat movies you put above this one? I just gotta know.
The Scorpion's Revenge is probably the best Mortal Kombat movie, hands down.
Okay.
The original Mortal Kombat.
Okay.
This Mortal Kombat. The VHS Mortal Kombat that story begins VHS.
Damn.
And then Annihilation.
Wow.
It was, I figured Annihilation would definitely be at the bottom of this list. But Scorpion's Revenge. Okay, I forgot about Scorpion's Revenge. I can see. So
I must find this VHS copy. It has to be, if I can find the Snake PSA that scared the hell out of me when I was young, I should be able to find that.
oh, it's there.
I want to see that VHS.
It's out there. It's actually out there on YouTube. I'll give you the link to it, Vaughn, because I know exactly the movie Joe's talking about.
As I said, Hiroyuki Sanada, great performance. Joe Tolson, who does Sub-Zero, great performance. Ludi Lin, who was Zack the Black Ranger in the previous Power Rangers not animated, excuse me, live action film,
series.
Great job. And Jessica McNamee, who was Sonya in this, great job. Everybody else,
dang.
Moving on.
I just did. When you put the prayer hands together, that said everything I want. That said everything right there. He's like,
now, that is not to say I did not like their characters. I found Kano and Sonya absolutely delightful in this film. My surprise character I liked the most in this was Cabal, because Cabal just calls out everyone's BS, and especially it's like, we can just get Kano super easy. It's Kano.
That was kind of messed up at the same time. I'm like, dang, Cabal, really? Just
I mean, but it's Kano. Like, we saw that coming.
We did.
Well,
I mean,
yeah, we saw it coming, but I like that even the bad guys like, we can get him, no problem.
Yeah,
it's not going to be hard.
Yeah, but I'll ask you the same question, Joe. Do you believe that Mortal Kombat deserves a sequel? Do you believe that this Mortal Kombat deserves a sequel?
Well, it has to have a sequel because we never got to the actual tournament.
Well, yes, but that's why I was sitting there. But I mean, we discussed this off site though. It's like I did like that direction. I like the direction that it went differently.
The problem of not having the tournament in the movie is the whole premise of Mortal Kombat is based around the tournament to ensure we do not have Outworld invade.
True, but aside from that, we did have other stories like Conquest and Sub-Zero mythologies, and we also had Shaolin monks. You can even say Mortal Kombat Deception is really a side story. You can say Deception.
Well, yes, but they only into the tournament is the problem.
Wait, say Vaughn, I'm sorry.
How about we go for hey, Netflix, Hulu, Amazon Prime? Let's get a series going. That way we can get if we can get enough.
No. We've had 2 Mortal Kombat series.
Conquest.
It can't work as a series.
I think it can because Conquest was never. I'm gonna disagree because Conquest could have worked, but they didn't have. They had very little faith in it.
And then there was the what is that? The Mishima web series.
No, I think Mortal Kombat. The film
you're talking about the Mortal Kombat when they try to do what was it called? Because the shorts they did off Makima, those were good too. I just can't think of what it was called. I think they were like Mortal Kombat something A. Starts with an A.
These ones had Michael Jai White in them, and I'm like, okay, I'm into it. I feel like it could, they can have better writing and better quality, added
You guys
to
are
it.
thinking of Mortal Kombat Legacy, by the way.
Thank you. Mortal Kombat Legacy. That's what I was thinking of. But but no, it's like it could work, but it's just like, you know what? It kind of reminds me of, if you guys remember this. Remember WMAC Masters when they tried to do a whole tournament?
That is the unspoken Mortal Kombat.
It's the unspoken Mortal Kombat. Yes, but it still could have worked. I mean, I loved it as a kid. Now, granted, was it completely 80s and over the top? Yes, but then again, so is professional wrestling. We still watch it. I mean, so
but here's the thing about WMC Masters.
Was this when they had people just dress up like Mortal Kombat? Well, it seemed like Mortal Kombat characters, but it was on like UPN or something like that.
Yes.
But here's the thing about WMAC Masters. Those were the actors they used to digitize to make Mortal Kombat. They were literally Mortal Kombat.
Agreed. Completely.
No,
agreed.
They really were. It was all the actual martial art actors that they digitized into Mortal Kombat are the WMAC Masters. Except the one black guy, the Machine. He's the one that Shang Tsung killed in the actual movie.
Yeah. Well, actually, then the guy who actually got killed by Goro was the other one, if memory serves me right. Yeah, he was the other one. Yes. He was the other guy that got killed. But no, I mean, don't get me wrong, the series themselves could work, but just like Conquest went a different route, because technically they went Kung Lao, and they went Kung Lao, and then these two people that had nothing to do with Mortal Kombat, and still made a story about them battling Sub-Zero and Scorpion and Shang Tsung just hanging in the shadows. So it could work. It's just that, just it depends on studios having faith in them. And I also get to my point about Mortal Kombat. The pros of it, I loved it. I mean, the first 7 minutes hooked me in. The fighting itself, I'm used to that. I mean, I'm used to noticing different styles of fighting: Kempo, Wushu, Tai Chi, that, and they were all kind of being used, as well as your normal everyday American kickboxing and street fighting that way too. I love seeing all those different styles, and I love the fact of what I saw, what they were doing with each character. But I'm gonna be honest, like I said, like me and Joe were talking before this kicked off. I said Kano kind of sold me on it. I said the guy who played Kano, he really sold it for me, and I just like the fact that he was, we never actually had a Kano outside of the original Mortal Kombat, but the guy didn't really have a lot of lines. The guy didn't really have a lot of lines in the original Mortal Kombat, so it's not.
Wasn't that the only thing he said? Hello, sunshine. Yeah, that's the only thing he said.
He kept on saying, the first one he told Sonya Blade, we had that. He said, "Would you use that to knife your mother in the back?" "No, I use it to slice your partner from ear to ear." That's it. And then he died. So that's all you got. But in this one, I'm like, I love the story. I like the direction they went. Like, again, guys, this isn't a spoiler that we're sitting there saying it's not about the tournament, because they were saying this the entire time the movie was being advertised. So if anybody comes and say, "You're spoiling the movie," we're not, because they already sat there and said this movie takes place before the 10th tournament. So don't come at us for us following the rules. But I like the fact that it went a different direction. I like the fact they tried to introduce a character, and I was trying to figure out what the character was, because everybody was like, "Cole, who is this dude that just?" And I like the fact of how they tied him in to an existing character. Of course, we're not going to say what the character. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Vaughn.
I kind of feel like he was supposed to be like the audience. He was like the new person that never heard of Mortal Kombat, has a friend that sit like, "Yo, you gotta watch this with me. You gotta watch this." Like, that's who they.
So you're saying it's the audience view?
Like, yeah, it's like that audience's avatar. That's how I felt he was.
Gotcha. Well, overall for me, I said they say it deserves a sequel just because of what you guys said. How the actual movie. I mean, the movie didn't wrap. It was more along the lines of a continuance. It's like, okay, now it's like, it seems like the second movie is actually going to be moving on to the grounds of the tournament. So I'm kind of curious, like I said before, to see what Warner Brothers will do, because their deal with HBO Max, of course. If you do have HBO Max, guys, this is available to watch on HBO Max. at least for the next 30 days. If you are watching this in the movie theaters, nothing wrong with that. But like I said, from all three of us, we all liked it. I still believe that we might get sequels for this movie. I hope we get sequels for this movie. I would like to think a series will be developed for it. But again, it's going to be one of those we kind of have to wait and see, where the money resides. Because let's be honest, money always dictates where we're going to get a sequel or not.
Yeah. I mean, we got quality-wise, BVS was terrible, but Justice League still came and stuff. Like, not saying it was a sequel, but
Batman versus
anyway,
Batman versus Batman. No, go ahead, Bob. Go ahead.
With the amount of people talking about it, I really feel like we'll get a sequel.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like Batman vs Superman. I mean, overall, domestically, it didn't do bad. They actually did a little bit more than what their budget was. And of course, Justice League was just let's be honest, it was toxic. It was bullying at its finest. And even though there have been many people that like the Snyder Cut of Justice League, and some of them were just like, I mean, don't get me wrong. I think a director should be given his three chances at bat, and if he hits home runs, then hey, keep offering the man money. But if he strikes out, clear the box, let another person take a shot at it. I can live with that. Which kind of makes me look forward to the Suicide Squad. I am looking so forward to that movie and the Peacemaker series that'll also be on HBO Max. But anyway. But let me get the quick stuff out the way, because I mean quick stuff, I mean the bad shows. CW did actually have some shows this week. No, there was not a new Flash. There was not a new there was not a new Flash, new Superman. Unfortunately, Flash and Superman will not have new episodes until next month. We did have a Black Lightning episode and a Batwoman episode, and trust me, they were just crappy. Nothing has changed. The stories are still flat. I'm still sad about this, and I keep saying that they'll get better. Just leave it at that. Trust me, it's not even really worth talking about for those two stories. What I did want to talk about, the other goods, aside from Mortal Kombat being such an awesome show, we got to talk about Falcon and the Winter Soldier. The episode 7, the season finale, I should say the series finale, because Marvel has been doing a lot of these one-shot series. They, and I said it with a question mark, because they never said that this was a one-shot deal for Falcon and the Winter Soldier, especially on how it's been accepted right now. So that is subject to change. But I did want to get you guys' opinions on the last episode, where we finally got to see what was in the briefcase. I'll go back in reverse. Joe, I'll start with you. What did you think of the last episode of Falcon and the Winter Soldier?
Oh, me?
Yep, I'm going in reverse. You're up this time.
All right. Well, first off, Shadow says hello and that he loved the final episode. As for me, Zemo always wins. So
I knew you were going to mention that. Go ahead.
Zemo always wins. No, I really liked it. I think it was the only odd thing I had about this one is everyone immediately buddies up to John Walker after the tremendous butt whooping they gave him.
Oh, that was the disrespectful ass whooping by the Dora Milaje?
No. The disrespectful ass whooping he got by Sam and Bucky.
Oh, you know what? That was actually, let's be honest. If you really think about ass whooping, and not to cut you off, but if you really think about ass whoopings, which was the worst ass whooping? The one that he got from the Dora Milaje, or the one that he got from Sam and Bucky?
Oh, the one from Dora Milaje easily, but he still wound up with a broken arm from Sam and Bucky.
They weren't even super soldiers.
I mean, the Dora Milaje, they literally, let's be honest, the fight with the Dora Milaje made him take the serum at that point. You got beat down by the Wakandian Royal Guard, and you went straight for the serum. But I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off, Joe. Keep going with your.
So the suit was Sam's new suit is fantastic. It's comic accurate, which I love to death. It's one of those few suits that actually look good as a comic accurate suit, and that's very, very hard to pull off.
Of course,
especially with some of the comic designs that we get nowadays. It's just almost impossible to make those kind of suits work. The best thing to me was the inclusion of the Isaiah Bradley statue in the Captain America Museum.
Yeah, that was cool.
That was wonderful. Like I joked before, but I will always, though, Zemo wins in the long run, no matter what.
That damn Butler.
I've had several fans go, well, he's there, so that means either he's going to put together a Thunderbolts and break out, or they're going to recruit him and make him form the Thunderbolts. Like, I think the Thunderbolts are a bit far off. We'll probably circle back around after Secret Invasion to see what hero's a Skrull, what hero's not, because they can just point at Zemo and look, he got rid of all the super soldiers.
That's true.
We can use him to get rid of all the Skrulls.
True. I still say that damn Butler. That damn Butler pulled up everywhere. That Butler was the Iceman of Hitman. You just almost want him to go.
You know,
it's almost it's handled, sir.
Sharon was the power broker. It was so obvious. Even they just gave it a throwaway line.
Yeah.
The power broker's like, well, we all knew that. So good for them. I'm unsure if Batroc is alive or not. I know he got shot.
They never said it. Yeah, you never saw a body. I hate to say it. I'm going Fast and Furious. You never saw a body.
You never saw a body, and they could actually like take one and like use cybernetics to give him better leaping powers.
Yeah, they could. But
or something. The episode itself is great. I know a lot of people didn't really care for how WandaVision turned into a giant laser fight, but I mean, it was a fight between two witches.
I mean, yeah.
Something was going to happen. This one, we knew how it was going to go down, and they pulled it off amazingly.
Oh, I loved it.
But even though Bucky can't do a single job, right?
Hey, but Bucky is still coming along.
He had one job.
Bucky's still trying. He's still got that. He's still got that Wakandan shea butter going. But Vaughn, I'm gonna ask you, dude. What did you think of episode 7 of the Falcon Winter Soldier?
I'm not crying. You're crying.
Damn, it got you too.
Yeah, like when Sam was speaking to the public, it really wasn't heavy-handed. It wasn't, finger wagging. It was more like, yo, come on, what are y'all doing? Like, it's just one of those what they say, come to Jesus moments.
Yeah, it was kind of Jesus moment.
The power of Anthony Mackie's acting, it called me. Like, no, it's smoke is in my eye. I ain't gonna lie, I teared up too, dude. And then we go to Bucky's, like, I felt that when he talking to the Asian man's name escapes me, but we
oh yeah, we talking about his son,
that part, but that was extremely emotional. That caught me. That caught me too. I mean, the writing for this episode, I had to look up the writer. Well, I'm going to look up the writer because he or she did an amazing job with just, the dialogue, the back and forth, the rhythm, the rhythm of how this should flow. My one criticism would be that it kind of was it felt a little too clean at the end, except for, when they told who the power broker was.
Yeah.
That's just me. It was a little too squeaky clean, even for Marvel.
Well, I think they had to wrap it. I think, and now I'm just gonna go into mine. I think just to add to that, I think they had to wrap it up because, like I said before, these were all meant to be one season or one run series. Because I think as they're gearing up for Secret Invasion, that's gonna be like that's going to be the next arc, the next big story in the MCU that they're going to cover. So I think they're wrapping up all these loose ends to set up for movies. And I with you, Vaughn, I ain't going to lie. I dropped some tears on this episode. Like, dude, the simple fact of just, Sam went Cap. He went Cap during that entire speech. And I like the fact that, John Walker, when I was like, I said, I see him. And he's blue, white, and red. Mm-hmm. Okay. And of course, he's still in the murderous rage. Of course, go after Carly and the Flag Smashers. And it's like, she says, I only kill people who matter. Of course, that just makes him pissed off even more. Oh, so my boy's life didn't matter? And of course, the shield, because it's not made of vibranium, gets messed up. And you can kind of see he did have that. And what are you going to say, Bob? You got something on your mind?
Yeah, real quick. I forgot about with Mortal Kombat. Carly, she just reminded me. Carly and Melina, y'all get two. Ooh, girl, you thick. Okay, I'm sorry. And I mean that in the most respectful way possible. I just have to say that. They both, Melina, come on. I ain't the only one. I ain't the only one.
I see fast. I mean, the teeth kind of made me just think otherwise, but you ain't wrong.
Hey, keep your mask on. Keep your mask on.
But no, it's just that, like I said, the whole Sam speech near the end, that got me. I like the fact that they showed Walker as far as, of course, him and the whole situation with the bus, with the with the armored truck full of politicians about to go over, and you see him have that moment of, oh, I could take out Carly or I could save them, and you see him just like, he has that moment of, okay, is he just going to really go dark side, or is he about to do it? Yeah, he does the head bob thing. And of course, he does make the right decision. He tries to save the hostages. And even so, we still see, like you said, Vaughn, they did go too clean. Yeah, we knew, like Joe said, we knew that Carter was the power broker. It was too freaking obvious there, Magic Fool. The fact that Bucky is now starting to heal past his trauma by going to the guy and telling him, yes, I know how your son died. And your son died from the Winter Soldier, and that the Winter Soldier is me, and showing him the hand. And Sam embracing the Captain America shield and becoming that, and you can tell by the way he was sounding. Like, of course, and someone pointed this out on Twitter where I was sitting there. It's like, did y'all realize? It's like one day they said, you realize when Sam said, he says, we're gonna need your help, Cap, and Sam goes, always. And I kind of felt like that was the equivalent to where Chris Evans, Captain America, is like, I could do this all day. I kind of had that feeling of it, like, dude, always. I will always be able to help you. And the realism that they use, of course, using Isaiah Bradley's story of, he says, you think you got it bad? Dude, I'm a black man in America, no superpowers, in a suit that nobody likes to see me in, and I'm still showing to do the job. And I'm like, God, right here.
The bar for me was, hey, we built this country. Mm-hmm. Like, ain't nobody gonna tell me how I can't fight for it. Like, oh my, I was like, wait, Disney and Marvel were definitely taking some strides with this. And I just love, and I like the fact, like I said, I love Gaspar St. John, who's Bartok the Leaper. I love him. I hope his character's not dead, because he definitely deserves more episodes. Just because I loved him as our Bartok the Leaper. I'm trying to think of everything else I was going to say. And, Bucky and Sam, and I like the fact at the very end, you see Walker come out with Madam Hydra. Madam Hydra is still like, oh, we don't need a Captain America. And she says the words, what we need is a U.S. agent. And I was like, and we've come full circle. And
I just like that he was just like, it's the same costume, but black.
Right. And I like the fact where it's like, John Walker, and I have to explain this to people. John Walker in the comics is not the John Walker you see in the Falcon and Winter Soldier. Because there was
much worse.
Yes, it is.
So much worse.
That is an understatement, and I mean Joe is not kidding. There is such an underline of worse.
Because I'm one of the novice.
I'll put it this way: you ever seen some? Go ahead, Joe. Yeah, go ahead.
The Simpsons meme about this series is most accurate. Bart being MCU fans of, this is the worst thing John Walker's ever done. Us knowing that, me being the comic fan, this is the worst thing John Walker's done so far. Let me put it this way. I am reading the current run of Thunderbolts where Luke Cage's team of the Thunderbolts.
Okay.
John Walker has one leg and has a hook for an arm, and still savagely beats his inmates. So they do his dirty work for him with one arm.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, you can be with a one-arm pimp. Oh my goodness.
That's just like
I
that's light. That's light on top 5.
And speaking of comic books, though, even though that's like the way she announced it was a little cheesy, I felt like that would have been in the comic book panel. The way
Yeah.
now we don't need a Captain America, we need a
Well,
USA.
the funny part is the line isn't said by Madam Hydra in the U.S. agent books. It's I think it's said by a senator. If memory serves right, yeah, it's said by a senator to John Walker. Because they said because of the time Cap came back and reprised his role, and of course Walker at the time wasn't going to fight Steve Rogers over it, and I forgot the senator's name that sat there and told him what we need is we need somebody who will do the dirty work, who will do the things that the guy with the shield won't do or won't compromise his morals, and that's where that line came from. But and I'm sorry guys, I thought I had the comments filled up, so if you guys are commenting under this, I apologize, I cannot see it. Because I know Joe, you said Shadow said something and I didn't see it, so I apologize, Shadow.
No, it's in our group chat.
Okay, it's in our group chat. Okay, cool. Because I was gonna say I didn't see any comments pop up, but then again, my XSplit might not be acting right. But again, with Falcon the Winter Soldier, just to get to wrap up before we move on to Invincible, I loved it, and I know Joe, you posted this earlier about the fact that the Winter Soldier, and also the last thing I'll say before we get to that part, that I love the fact that the title of the series went from the Falcon the Winter Soldier to Captain America and the Winter Soldier. So I like that little tidbit that they did at the end just to go ahead and give him the moniker. But the series has done so well, and I'm not sure if this is Marvel's planning or that Kevin Feige is truly a freaking genius when it comes to storytelling and product placement. But they've already went ahead and announced that there will be a 4th Captain America movie that will basically tell the role of Sam Wilson as Captain America. So they went ahead and announced that they are currently working on that. So I'm actually liking the fact that there will be a Sam Wilson Captain America, which I think, like I said, it could be setting up for Civil War 2, just because you already have Captain Marvel and you have Sam Wilson in there. So there's chances are that could be set up for that. But I do like the fact that there will be a 4th Captain America movie. Just keep this in mind, guys. This is not to be related to Chris Evans, who's currently in talks with Marvel for another project. But it's going to be separate because keep in mind, during the Marvel comic line, there have actually been multiple Captain Americas at different points in time. So just so everybody doesn't worry about it. That doesn't mean Chris Evans is going to come back and be Captain America. No, he'll probably be in some capacity somewhere else. But for now, the MCU is that Sam Wilson is going to be Cap. And I did like the fact that the guy, Ramirez, I was like, so he's not going to be suited up for a suit anytime soon, because his character eventually takes on a Falcon role. But I guess they're not going to cover that part yet. But either way, we're going to leave it there. I did want to go ahead and move on because, like I said, we don't really got... Yeah, he might actually be the next person to be a Falcon. But moving right along, because I know Joe's got some comic book news, and I have a gaming channel announcement that I'm going to be making. The other show we're going to talk about real quick is Invincible, which this episode 7 felt like a season finale, but it's not. The season finale will actually be next week. In which now everybody knows that Omni-Man killed the Guardians of the Globe. Robot was actually a human being that reminded me of MODOK, but apparently figured out how to get his body into a body clone. And on top of that, Mark has suddenly realized that his dad is not the person he thinks he is. So Vaughn, have you seen him? Have you caught up on Invincible?
I have not gone past the first episode yet, so...
Oh, damn. I'm sorry.
I don't care, because I'm still going to watch all of that. I don't care about nothing. Spoil it. I'm still on the scene that was on World Star. So I'm going to watch it.
Not the scene where Omni-Man just kills everybody, right?
Yeah. I'm going to watch it. I don't care if you tell everything.
Okay. Well, I'm just gonna go just real quick over it. So, I mean, Joe, you watched it. I know you did. So,
Yep.
Your opinion of episode 7, I mean, does it kind of take away from what 8 was going to wind up being, or are we going to be let down? Because this kind of felt like a season finale more than it did another episode.
I'm still trying to figure out if that, in one brief flashback of Immortal implied he was Abraham Lincoln.
I mean, he can't die.
Well, it's just one of those things. Like, does that mean he's Lincoln?
Well,
anyway, no. I don't think it's definitely like a penultimate episode because they're setting up everything.
Yeah.
They have yet to take care of the kaiju. Omni-Man pretty much exposes himself to everybody.
Oh yeah.
So we are probably going to be seeing a giant fight of two invincible beings.
But
I can only guess how it's going to go down.
I think Immortal's gonna pop back up somewhere because, like I said, the guy can't die. I mean, they literally put.
No, it's one of those you got to put the pieces back together for him to come back.
I mean, true. I mean, he's basically Jason Voorhees. So let's just be honest. But I mean, he can't die. But you're right. It is setting up to where it looks like Mark and his dad are gonna have an all-out fight. It looks like that way. And I was just tripping off the fact of just the whole thing with Cyrus. He's like I'm a very good liar, but you got. That just seemed to be like the FU move to Omni-Man. It's like he says, I know I'm terrible. I know I'm low down. I know I will do everything I need to do to get the job done. But you, he said, you make me look like a saint. I was like, dang, God dang, that's hateful. I see why he wanted to kill him.
I'm honestly kind of happy that Mark and the whole Mark Amber thing is over with. Because that just kind of seemed to be like a flash in the pan for a little bit. Like it's a high school romance.
Yeah, it was filler.
Obviously, but it's just one of those like, can we just hurry this up?
Yeah, it just felt like filler is what it really did. But I'm like I said, I'm looking forward to the final season. I'm sorry, final season. That was completely wrong. Looking forward to the final episode of the first season because I think they're kind of planning this out to be 3 seasons. I think they're going to give it the Robert Kirkman treatment. So they're going you're probably going to get 3 seasons and then, they're just going to just money cash it out until they can't no more. But, but then again, that's The Walking Dead. Hey-yo. So, yeah, Walking Dead. I'm sorry, Walking Dead fans. Walking Dead should have ended a long time ago. I'm sorry. Once you hit Negan was the point to where it's like, all right, it's time to wrap the story up. But for all those who still enjoy The Walking Dead, good for y'all. I just know for me, after Negan and the Whisperers, that should have been it. I'm just saying. But get into our comic book news because, like I said, I know Joe's got a lot of comic book news to get to, and then just to wrap it up, I do have a gaming announcement I want to talk about to let you guys know what I'll be doing. Since if you've been following my Facebook, I am liberated. I have been liberated because I left everything on my desk, and I mean that in every sense of the word. Especially if you're watching my Facebook, if you don't believe me, there's a certain post when you get off this podcast. Definitely go back and see it because I made sure that when I'm done with a job, I am done with a job. But Joe, go ahead and go with the comic book news that you have, and I'll just talk about the gaming podcast that's gonna be coming up.
Alright, so we got some comic book recommendations and we got comic book news. I'll try to run through everything super, super quick.
Okay.
First up, we have Women of Marvel. This is a bunch of in the line of voices where it is authors and illustrators. This time it's nothing but women. Some of them are one-shots. Some of them are single page. This is a one-shot anthology book. Some of these are multiple pages. Some of them are single page. Like a quick rundown. We see Lady Deathstrike going to a nail salon.
I'm sorry.
We see the return.
I'm sorry. That just the visual. The visual got me. Go ahead. I'm sorry. The visual got me.
We see the return of Captain Peggy, and this may actually lead into the Marvel animated series What If.
Nice.
We see what happens when Emma Frost just doesn't want to dress up.
Oh God.
She just makes everyone around her think she looks fantastic.
Oh God.
What are some of the other ones?
I think that's gonna be adult. I think that last one's gonna be adult rated. But go ahead.
No, they're all surprisingly very PG friendly. We see She-Hulk trying to serve Rhino with the court summons.
I'm sorry.
We see a very interesting thing
yes,
with
Vaughn, that look.
Moira.
I'm sorry, not to cut you off. That look Vaughn just had when you just sat there and said, "Imagine She-Hulk trying to serve Rhino with a summons," and Vaughn just looked off like that's a fight ready to happen. I said, "Yes, that's the exact look."
But no, because I went ratchet. I pictured them as themselves, but in the hood. I don't know.
A baby boy situation gone wrong?
Yeah, so I took it ghetto. So go.
So I'll just leave you guys with that one. Next up, we got Trial X. This is, Way of X. This is the Nightcrawler-centric book for X-Men, where it's kind of exploring how Nightcrawler, who is very much a man of faith, deals with being in a society where they have basically conquered death, so religion is not really their high priority.
Okay.
Because if you conquer death, what is the point of a god?
True. And
believing in God in the afterlife when you have no afterlife.
Right.
So it deals with that. He makes a very small joke with Magneto. He witnesses Pixie literally let herself get her face being blown off by a shotgun just on a dare because they know they can come back.
Dang.
And he has a very heart-to-heart with Professor Xavier. They also have a mutant who is, for those unfamiliar, if you are unsatisfied with your power or your power makes you unable to live a comfortable lifestyle, you can enter what's called the Crucible, where you are let die by the hands of your own people and then brought back with better abilities or a body that's more comfortable to your ability.
But you gotta die first? But you gotta die first? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm just reacting.
So this one mutant keeps coming to Nightcrawler and saying, "I am lost, and they told me to find you, for you are a painless one." So Kurt's just like, yes, it's over there. And then what we later see is Magneto is torturing this poor person because he's trying to continue. It's like, we are a strong people. We are a people that are a warrior race. And then finally put them out of your misery. Before they die, it's like, I really wanted you because you would have made this quick. And because you chose not to, I have suffered. And then they die.
Dang.
Of course, they are later brought back, and they have some kind of hilarious stuff with the resurrection. But then Nightcrawler is still shooken because, he turned his back on someone who needed him.
Right. Which
is something for his faith. And then, of course, Legion just shows up and starts screwing with stuff. So,
Oh, God. Everybody's head's going through a mind race.
Sword, I gotta recommend Sword. It's becoming a new favorite of mine. This is where Fabian Cortez tries to just Starscream his way into keeping his position, and they're like, "Oh, we gave your position away days ago. Dang. We just wanted to see what you could do."
Oh, you is fine.
For those of you that don't know who Fabian Cortez is, he is Starscream, but his power is literally bootlicking.
Yeah.
But when he bootlicks you, your power increases. But, no one likes Fabian Cortez.
He is literally I'm sorry. I don't mean to cut you off. I was going to say, he is the most unliked guy in the MCU, and that's saying a lot.
The best thing I like about this is they have just a mutant named Peepers, whose only big thing is he has enhanced vision because he has large eyes.
Yeah.
And the best thing is apparently Magneto is his best friend in the world. Magneto just Peepers, it's so good to see you. Please sit next to me. It's been forever. We need to catch up. And it's Magneto. So you just one of the most humble of mutants, and he's Magneto's best friend on the island.
That's saying a lot.
Other than Charles.
And now I have
a wholesome friendship.
Say what, Vaughn?
Now I have Jeepers Creepers stuck in my head all night.
Yeah. So they let Fabian know. So by the way, we replaced you with one of the women from Morocco because we need someone from Morocco to be a representative.
Damn.
Oh wow.
How do you got replaced? You got replaced by affirmative action. Damn.
Other than that, comic news, we had the Shang-Chi trailer, which is very good.
Yes. I love the fact. I love the fact that they tried to use Mephisto confirm. There have been so many people have tried to use that.
They need to let that go, but at this point, I'm going to let that become a running gag. I really enjoyed it. It looks like one part Super Cop or not Super Cop. Super Cop in terms of action mixed with Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, fantasy martial arts.
Yeah, a little bit of.
So we get that Meals on Wheels.
Yeah.
I cannot wait for that. We got it.
Go ahead. What are you gonna say?
Epic. It definitely had an epic, like one of those Crouching Tiger epic looks to it, and this would be really big for Marvel to step into that realm.
Oh yeah.
Now, of course, China already dislikes this film because they do not like Simu Liu. They do not see him as an attractive enough lead in the movie because Chinese films want everyone to be as beautiful as possible, and they just see Simu Liu, who I think he's going to kill this.
Oh yeah,
but he's not pretty enough for the Chinese audience, according to China.
You know what?
Look here, China.
I had a movie lined up, but I was gonna sit there and say no, but so they had no issue with Bloodsport. But anyway, I'm not gonna do that because
comic news. All right, so on to comic news. Those are my recommendations.
All right.
Of Marvel, Sword, Way of X. It's a little Marvel heavy this time around. I don't want to bog everybody down with some DC. I got to flip-flop back and forth. But we do have DC news. So the Justice League Unlimited limited animated series is having a continuation in the comic books. Mm-hmm. It's going under the new moniker Justice League Infinity. It's going to continue on what Unlimited did, where it's giving us more heroes with the Justice League.
Right.
JMD Mateus will be doing the writing. Art will be with Ethan Beavers, who's done great work. Expect to see Booster Gold and Blue Beetle in this. I've already seen a couple pages, so it is Ted Kord. So Ted Kord is not dead in the JLU, thank God.
Not to get you off, Joe. Vaughn, I'm going to have to show you one day some Booster Gold and Blue Beetle comics, because you want to talk about two would-be heroes that act more like...
That's part of the news. We'll get to that.
I know, but I got to tell Vaughn, because I got to introduce him to it. Just because, Vaughn, you ever wondered about superheroes that just want to be loved, but they will do anything just to be accepted?
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm sorry, Joe. Go ahead, because I want to show Vaughn this one day when he's back over my house. But go ahead, Joe.
Tom Taylor will be taking over Superman in July. This is really big news because Superman has officially transferred. We are now looking at the Superman era of Jonathan Kent. John is not aged up. He's still around the 18. But it is officially Jonathan Kent is the new Superman.
So that means...
I have full faith in this book because Tom Taylor really can... write young heroes stepping into their mantles. All different Wolverine cements that immensely. If you are unfamiliar with his work, he did all of the Injustice comics, and he is the writer behind Deceased.
Okay, so that means if John Kent's taking over, so does that mean that the rumor about the next Superman book about him and the Authority is going to be real then?
It is real because in July, Grant Morrison brings back the Wildstorm series Authority, and Superman is in the forefront with it.
Oh God! Okay.
So be prepared for a lot of acid trips, people, because if you've read Grant Morrison's Green Lantern series with Hal Jordan, even I couldn't tell you what happened in that book.
Because it didn't go down a rabbit hole. What were you saying, Bon? I'm sorry.
I was just asking who Jonathan Kent was.
Okay.
Like I
He
said,
is Lois Lane and
comic book
Clark
fan.
Kent's son.
Yeah. So
Ooh.
so like that Superman Lois that's on CW, it follows the Superman from Earth. Shit. I'm sorry.
Something or other.
Yeah, thank you. So it follows Superman from that Earth, and on that Earth, Superman has twin boys. So John is
one of them Brightburn?
Nah. Oh God, no. That'd be Red Sun. If that would be Red Sun. That'd be like if Red Sun had a kid, then that would be that kid. But no, this actually is supposed to be following one of his sons, John, as far as him being Superman, because he used to be known as he was known as Superboy for a little while. But go ahead, Joe. What you're going to talk about?
And then finally up, we have DC announcing Booster Gold and Blue Beetle getting a blue and gold comic series by writer Dan Jurgens, who was the introductory writer of Booster Gold. The entire plot is they want to join the Justice League, but they know the Justice League won't let them in, so their plot is that they are going to become social media darlings so popular that the Justice League will have to have them invite them to the Justice League.
It's like Pinky in the Brain. I'm sorry. I'm trying not to say it. I'm going to try not to say it.
So the writer is Dan Jurgens, art is by Ryan Sooks, cover by Ryan Sooks. That's where he gained the spotlight. Booster Gold is looking to attract the public and Justice League attention the same way any washed-up, second-rate superhero would. Mm-hmm. Social media. So he is using every possible means to become the best social media superheroes they can be, just so they can rejoin the ranks of the Justice League.
You know the funny part is, it kind of takes a little bit of the plot from Batman Returns if the Penguin had Facebook back then. If you really think about it, it's like, I want to be accepted, but what if the Penguin had Facebook back then during 1985?
Batman, can I have your IG? Come on.
I'm just
the
saying.
only other thing you'll mention, Flash. This week's Flash issue came out. It introduces us to the Gold Beetle, which is the time-traveling Blue Beetle.
Yeah.
That is a Ted Cord descendant from the 853rd century, who is a fusion of who just combines her ancestor and Booster Gold's motif into one thing. She has, instead of the bug, she has a giant gold beetle ship called the Gold Bug. Instead of Skeets, she has a blue robot named Beats.
Wow.
She does bring up several very important things on accident because she is as hyperactive as it all get out. Mm-hmm. She lets Wally know he's got another 5 crises he's going to be living through.
That's got to be messed up to tell somebody.
And Wally just kind of gives her the crap look.
That's still messed up.
And she says, I really can't tell you too much because my job is to protect the time stream. Otherwise, the linear men come after me, and they got such a stick up their butt. So that's been a while since we've heard about the linear men.
Right. Which is basically the protectors of the timeline.
But it's really, really fun, that Flash book. I like having Wally happy again. It's really fun what they're doing with him. Next issue of the Flash, he quantum leaps into Jay Garrick's body in the middle of World War II. We see Hitler with the spear that pierced Jesus.
Oh, it's the Spear of Destiny.
Yeah, so we see him getting ready to face Hitler wielding the Spear of Destiny.
Ah, that's going to be interesting. And then at the same time, I just had Inglorious Bastards go through my head just now. I'm sorry. Hugo Stiglitz. But
that's what I got for comic book news.
Okay, I'm sorry. I just now I feel I need to go watch Inglorious Bastards right now just for Hugo Stiglitz. everybody is like, you've heard of Hugo Stiglitz. Everyone in the German army has heard of Hugo Stiglitz. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That's stuck in my head now. Anyway, I had to get myself refocused because that Inglorious Bastards is one of those movies it just doesn't get old. Okay, so before we wrap this up, guys, I did want to talk about an idea that Vaughn has inspired me, because if you've heard Vaughn say this multiple times, Vaughn knows that I like to play video games. Unfortunately, I've apparently have put my friends through some trauma about playing me in fighting games. Now, I'm not saying I'm the best. I'm not saying that, I go undefeated. I am just highly competitive, which I found out that Joe is also highly...
You fought me, so I don't want to hear it.
I know, Joe, you're highly competitive as well. But I say all this because Vaughn, as we were talking about this in previous podcasts, Vaughn, as I said, you know what? I just want to do a gaming channel one day where it's just like... It's not to take away from the WSO sessions that are done overseas. If you don't know what WSO sessions are, they're winner stay on sessions. But they're usually done with just a group of people. They're not really done with, people wanting to jump online and actually play each other. It's not spontaneous. So what I wanted to do, which will be done in the next coming weeks because I have to finish up a computer rig that I've got going on that's going to serve this purpose for what I'm doing. It's basically going to be a gaming channel, as Vaughn has eloquently said, and that a friend of ours who has coined this phrase since our college days has said, the gaming channel is pretty much be called Pick Up the Sticks. Now, with Pick Up the Sticks, it is completely going to be a gaming channel that, will be run by me, which will post on Facebook. Now, I don't have any of the next gen series. I don't have any PS5 or Xbox Series X, but what I do have is everything else under the sun. Under that, I will start in the next week or so, just sometimes either on a random Monday or Tuesday or Wednesday night, or even a Friday night, depending on how we get this going. But what I will do is I will pick a random game. It could be a fighting game, it could be a driving simulation game, or just something of that nature, just to get everybody involved. And I will put my gamer tag out there, and it will be posted live on Facebook, as you're currently watching right now. And we're actually going to have an actual live gaming session. Now, it could be me and Vaughn, it could be me and Joe, it could be Joe and Vaughn, it could be Shadow, it could be multiple people. And that's the point. I love competition. But what I also love is folks that are going to literally pick up the sticks and play you. And just for an hour or two, let's just see who's the king of the hill that day. Now, of course, this is, like I said, we're going to keep it mainly to fighting games because I don't want to do Apex Legends or Call of Duty. The reason why is because in order for us to pull that off greatly, it would involve us doing parties and getting at least 4 people on different times. And I'm going to be honest, that's going to be a little bit of a headache to do. So we are strict. Say what?
Monster Hunter.
Yeah. So, and also Monster Hunter, but I really want to focus on just, honestly, fighting games, mostly fighting games, simulation games, because I want everybody to, to join the lobby. And yes, I will be creating lobbies on Street Fighter 5. I will be creating lobbies on Killer Instinct. I will be creating lobbies on King of Fighters and Samurai Showdown, or whatever game I'm actually playing that day. I will create a lobby for it, and I will post it here on Facebook, and we're going to run that lobby for 2 hours. So if you believe that you can come in and you can run the gauntlet, because it is a winner stay on rule, which means that if you win, you stay on. If you lose, you hop off. There is no grudge matches. We're not doing it tournament style. But what I will start doing, just to really give it some buzz, is that I'm thinking of doing a cash prize. In which, nothing big. I will probably put up $200, $100. So I'll probably put up $100 or $200 of my own money. But anybody else that wants to play or wants to join into this daily tournament, we'll probably have to do a payment of $1 or $2. I'm not going to ask much, a $1 or $2 fee, because I'll be putting up $200 for the pot. So at the end of the gauntlet, which means that if,
come on now.
Yeah, I mean, who's gonna argue about $200? Did you say 4? Vaughn, did you just say 4?
No, you said put in $1. Yeah, that's not bad. Come on, 4 quarters.
Yeah. Oh, 4 quarters. Okay. So yeah, I mean, that's my idea because, like I said, I do this for fun. But let's be honest, you play better when you have something to play for. I mean, people play for pride, and that's cool and that's great. But at the same time, I like to play for bragging rights. I like to sit there and say, on this day, nobody can touch me. On this day, nobody can beat me. What do you say, Mom?
Well,
Yeah.
well, be honest. You like to play for their eternal soul. Be honest.
I do. I live for the competition. I do. I do it for the glory.
Your soul is mine. That's Will after he beats you in the game. That's
Well,
him.
if you ask Angela, I mean, she's still trying, bless her soul. But with that being said, yes, the Pick of the Sticks Gaming Channel podcast will be starting. I just haven't figured out what day I want to do it, but I will announce whatever the game is, and I will announce the time ahead of time. So once all my gaming stuff is set up, because right now my living room looks like Radio Shack just threw up in it. So please don't mind the mess and everything you see right now. But it will get better. But like I said, Pick of the Sticks Gaming Channel will happen. Tournaments will happen, and me and Joe will play each other because Joe's kind of pulling a wrestling bit right now. It's like you beat everybody but me, and I kind of feel like that's a title shot waiting to happen. And I've never been one to shirk from competition.
No.
Joe has sat there and said it. He's been saying this since two podcasts ago. He's been saying it since two podcasts ago. So he knows. So he has Street Fighter. He has King of Fighters. Basically, me and Joe kind of have the same amount of games. We really do. It's just getting together and actually playing. That's the whole thing. And I know my life right now has been effing busy. But hopefully, within the next couple of weeks, as I've been liberated from the plantation, that I will be able to be free enough to where me and Joe can sell that. But at the same time, I'm definitely putting that on Facebook, Joe. So just to let you know. Just so we can be there.
That's fine.
So we can put that there for posterity. But with that being said, guys, I do want to go ahead and wrap up the podcast for this. Before I do get out of here, we definitely got to do some shameless advertising. Vaughn, anything that you want to share aside from that wonderful Facebook page and those wonderful podcasts that you start doing every Sunday and Monday and I want to say Tuesday now?
No, it's just Sundays, 6:30 p.m. to 9 p.m. CT. You will be able to learn about the newest entertainment from video games to movie trailers to music and more. If you are a big A kid and you want to look for new entertainment, join me on Ace Devon Witherspoon's Facebook page or wherever you see at symbol Big VZ. That's BIGVIZZYADOT. And also on Tuesdays, 6:30 to 9 p.m. If you have had a terrible Sunday and Monday and your Tuesday wasn't any better, and you like to look at the effery that befalls people, join me. I have a pool of rich ratchetness that you can dip your toes in.
But it's also rich.
Precious
it's rich in ratchetness. It's rich in ratchetness.
Rich and ratchetness. If rich and ratchet. Ratchet around, range that off. Anyway, Ace Devon Witherspoon, man. Add me, Facebook, and you'll get a chance to watch him there. I'm on Twitch, YouTube, AfricaTV.com. Holla at me. And fellas, I appreciate you both, but this sleeping pill I took at 6 is kicking in, and I'm about to fall asleep. Right. So I holla at y'all. I appreciate y'all, man.
No problem, Von. Thanks for being on, man. Joe, anything you want to... Later, Von. Joe, anything that you want to promote or let people know about?
Just Total Justice Gaming on YouTube. At some point, I'll put up a new video. It's kind of been rough the past couple days, and I've just been super busy, and I'm trying to coordinate stuff. Trying to get his emo costume finished. To get a Radiant Black costume finished.
You gotta have a butler. You gotta have the butler for that Baron's emo costume. I'm just saying.
I mean, I have a small British short hair, but she's kind of a bum, so I don't think she'll set up any car bombs. She'll just come in and ask for food.
Fair enough.
That's what I can do.
Oh, trust me, I get the busy side, man. I trust me when I say this. So that's why I say I want to, of course, thank you and Vaughn for being on here. Of course, as for me, guys, the link that you see at the bottom, if you copy and paste that into your browser, will take you to my link tree that has all my shows, whether on Facebook or YouTube. I'm talking about How the Frack We Got Here, Get Bit, and the Offense Podcast. Schedule really hasn't changed that much, guys. Every Wednesday, I do go over the midweek review of How the Frack We Got Here, my U.S. political and daily podcast from 8:30 to 10 o'clock. Of course, as every Friday between 8:30 and 10 o'clock is the Get Bit podcast you're currently watching right now. On Saturdays between 10 a.m. to noon is the weekend edition of How the Frack We Got Here. And a little bit later that night, on Saturday night, 8:30 to 10, is definitely the adult-themed Offense podcast. And trust me, I'm trying to not burp right now, and it's really freaking difficult. So on Offense Podcast, I do actually have a topic, have a topic set up that'll be definitely interesting. Definitely for the guys. The ladies might not like it so much, but it'll be fun. But definitely like I said, link at the bottom. Definitely copy and paste that. Definitely like, share, and subscribe. Let us know what we did, guys. If you agree with us as far as what we went over and things of that nature. But aside from that, that's really all that I have. So from Joe, from Vaughn, and myself, thank you all guys for watching the podcast tonight. Take care of yourselves, and we'll get through this. And aside from that, I'm just happy to be out of this job. I'm happy to be out of my help desk job. I don't know why I like saying that, but it just rolls off the tongue so nicely. Anyway, guys, have a good weekend. We're out. Peace.